coming in beautifully here. Pavilion 3 is one of my favorites because, again, what we're dealing here is we have, the synchronicity of colonnade, the standard colonnade, which runs the whole course, but then we go with a larger, not necessarily a giant order here, but certainly a larger scaled column for the pediment that proudly fronts this pavilion, Pavilion 3. But here, Jefferson's not running the pediment through the entire width of the pavilion, but just the central 3 bays, which gives us the shoulder bays to the left and right, which are recessed and indented. So there's just a wonderful play of scale here. It gets almost cubist in its receding and coming forward of the colonnade plane. So when we're entering this beautiful pavilion, we're not sure whether that entry starts when we're penetrating the columns of the colonnade, the columns of the loggia, the pedimented larger order, or actually penetrating the front door, or even wandering further back into the house as indicated by the recessed shoulders that I just mentioned of the right bay and left bay. The right bay is a little covered by the trees in the foreground here. But really, really great stuff. And any one of these pavilions can stand by themselves as great early American samples of Jefferson's vision. That they're linked together in this wonderful necklace, this chain of wonderful colonnade and student dormitories. It's just one of the most remarkable things about this entire effort, the composition of these separate pavilions, all merged and married just wonderfully. This is, we're at pavilion number 5, and yeah, it speaks for itself. And here, rather than a pediment, we're getting like a pyramidal roof. So we're not looking at a front of a triangulated pediment over the columns, but now we're looking back with a sloped roof that's raked towards the eternity of the cosmos, which is great. And these little topographical changes in grade offer up great again, juxtapositions between the larger order, the columns on the right, and the standardized order for the colonnade on the left, and this wonderful linking catwalk, which not only accesses the private balconies of the pavilions, but gets you on the rooftops. And neighbors of this pavilion and neighbors of it can visit each other in the privacy of the overhead walkway that links the pavilions, which I had the pleasure of going up to the other night when we were the only ones here. But the sun is just wonderful here, how it comes to this great joint of, again, topography, which is nature, architecture, privacy, which is pavilion, public colonnade, which is the coursing of the lawn itself. It's just a wonderful, wonderful sense of composition. A great framing, if you will, what I'm showing here for a Renaissance Annunciation. Gabriel comes to send the announcement to Mary that she's going to do some major business. And framing not only what's beyond, which is the expanding horizon, but it sets up a great formal gesture of the foreground and a sense of communication, a sense of community, a sense of heavenly sent messages for the contemplative nature of humanity. And the pavilion 7, which is the Colonnade Club. It's a hotel where visitors can stay. The other pavilions are where major faculty reside. And the Colonnade Club was the first building built in the arrangement, which is the academical village lawn. I'm not showing the ranges, but they're on both sides of the lawn. But this is the first building that was built, so Jefferson was indeed here when it was completed. I think it was one of the only buildings that was officially completed in Jefferson's lifetime. Of course, this was like 1818, 1819, and Jefferson dies, of course, 1826. They had a very formal opening where Lafayette attended, and others in Madison and Monroe, for the UVA and the academical village, which he had created here for the state of Virginia. But I'm not sure the dome itself was completed. It was not a finished state yet. This was a work of progress for a number of years. But it was substantially completed enough where they had Monroe, Madison, Lafayette, our great hero from the French hero who helped us during the Revolutionary, who was a great friend of Jefferson's. But even Sally Hemings was here and had to have walked these colonnades so many times. But as the first structure that was completed, Jefferson actually stayed in this pavilion upstairs to more conveniently oversee construction. And again, this is that stretch that's under restoration now. The bachelor stretch, which just indicate that these were the original doubles. The other rooms were quads. Now they're all singles. So while we have a democratic system here, the bachelor rooms are smaller, and it's, well, they're certainly more intimate. But if you have a Great Dane like I did when I was a senior here in college, it was a little difficult to keep them here all the time. And you know, through this construction scaffolding is room 49, which was my room.
I think I got one here, ain't it? We got one
There's 49. Jerry Wright, star basketball player, occupied 47. Her good friend was Scott Gardner, who was All-American quarterback here, so he often visited. This was me, and then this was the editor, and you know, came pretty damn close to being the actual founding father of the Declaration, the weekly newspaper. We had the Cavalier Daily, of course, and this was the second newspaper, and I guess it's still doing very well, which I worked on. I was the art editor, and I did all the illustrations for the Declaration. But anyway, the editor lived here. I lived here. It was always exciting to meet deadlines. Here again, we got the topography change. So we go from upper to lower. Here, rather than juxtaposing a larger scaled column, it's maintained the same size, but it's stepped. And again, we're dealing with the colonnade that's the veil to the massing of the pavilion beyond. We have this apse that funnels light from the facade into the entry. It's not working now because we have this wonderful tree here.